Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please like and subscribe. And happy 2024. I think this is, in fact, my first live of January. So, welcome, peace and love to each and every one of you. I hope all is well. I hope you all are surrounded by peace and love, harmony, and happiness, and of course, good health. So we're going to start tonight with this new, very important message about New Year's and New Year timelines and cosmic timelines. And many people eagerly anticipated the beginning of 2024. And, there's much talk about what this year is bringing or what this year is. Representing the symbolism for the year, the numbers, the numerology, and all of that. And so we're going to be talking about that over the next few months. But the important thing is always with New Year's, that's a new beginning. Now, some people say that this is not um, the real New Year or it's a false New Year. It's just this 2024 is the Gregorian calendar's New Year. And we know if you've been watching Astro Healing Arts that there are many different calendars. And I've had my beloved brother McCool Ray on the show many times, and we've talked about the need for calendar reform, and we've talked about the natural calendar, the 13 moon 28-day calendar. So there's so many different calendars, and so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that, the different types of timing systems that exist. And this is just one of them. The one that goes from January 1st to December 31st is as we know it as the Gregorian calendar. And so in the Gregorian calendar of counting time is the year 2024. So with all new years, regardless of what type of calendar system that we use, it always represents new beginnings, change, goal setting and attention, and just new things on the horizon. And so with all things, we want to remain positive and have a optimistic look out or optimistic approach to the year that is starting, regardless of what timeline you follow or practice. So this is 2024, and I hope this year is beginning well for each and every one of you. And just wish the best for all of us, and to wish the best for our beloved planet and for humanity. So, with that said, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the new year is. New year, like I said, means new beginnings. It's a time to welcome in change and to manifest the change and to usher in and be that catalyst for change, because we know change comes from within. It starts with us, and we are the ones that have to make that change and make the world a better place and make it what we want it to be. And so this is a new time and a new era, and it's just such a special new beginning. And with that, let's see. All calendars are a system of measuring time or measuring time and frequencies. And that is what calendars are. So there's so many different ones. There's the lunar calendar, which measures the time and frequencies of the moon and the moon's phases. Then there's solar calendars, which measures the time and frequency of the solar changes and solar cycles. And yes, the sun's our sun, soul, and other stars have cycles and cycles of movement, just like the moon does. And then there's other times, many ancient people, many of our ancestors, and many Aboriginal peoples of the earth follow a 13 moon 28-day calendar. And I know the Ethiopian New Year, they have a 13-month calendar. Several other groups of people who lived, especially here on Turtle Island, they followed a 13 moon year, or 13 months. Moon represents months, and 28-day cycles. And each month had 28 days. And then there's also the calendar system that one of them that I practice, which is the 13-month, the natural calendar, or the galactic calendar, the 13-month, 28-day calendar, which is very, very significant. And each calendar, regardless of which one that you follow, has its own new year or new beginning. So the 13 moon, 28-day, or the galactic calendar, the new year is in July 26th, which is the day after the day out of time. And that day, July 26th, is very significant. It's also the ancient Kemetic New Year. And this is known as the planetary new year. And so it corresponds to the rising of the star Sirius in our galaxy. So all calendars follow not only a timing frequency, but they also follow something in nature. There's some um, natural event or cosmic event that marks significant moments in that calendar system. So the planetary New Year is July 26th, because that is the day that Sirius rises in the galaxy. That used to called flooding of the Nile, and so that was looked at as a auspicious time, and that was one of the reasons why the new year for the Kemetic people and the Kemetic calendar was on the 26th of July. And the planetary new year is also that same date, the 26th of July, because of the significance of the star Sirius and its position in the galaxy, and how that has an effect on the other stars around it and its system and our planet. So that's very, very important. So the Gregorian calendar starts in the winter with January 1st, which January is also named after someone. And there's a reason why they started in that month, but most calendars have their new year in the spring or the summer, and then some cultures in the fall. So let's look at the spring equinox is looked at as a new year for many cultures. I know the Taino New Year is on the spring equinox, and several other cultures, people tell me, are observe their new year on the spring equinox, which can make a lot of sense, because the spring is a time where the earth seems to come alive. And if you live in a space where they have 4 distinct seasons, and the springtime is, or this equinox is definitely when not only does everything seem to come alive, and to new life begins. The animals that hibernating are beginning to wake up. The animals who migrated start to come back and start looking for mates, and start new life cycles as they begin their breeding cycles and start reproducing, and the plants come alive, and seeds and everything starts to grow and bloom. And so that is seen as a new year for many people, because it's a new cycle of time. We're coming out of with the dead of winter and the cold of winter, where things seem to be still and sleep, especially after the winter solstice. So the spring equinox is another really important cosmic time that many people observe as their new year. And we have somebody in the chat, Dia. Hey, welcome, welcome. And another important culture that is well known is the Chinese calendar. They have their own calendar system, and their new year is actually like the end of January, beginning of February. Um, their calendar system is very interesting. It is based on their cosmology, and so each year is given a identity or named after a um, one of the animals or one in their zodiac system or their cosmological system. That word is hard to say. So the Chinese New Year, I know the year that is coming to an end is the year of the rabbit, and so this February is going to be mark their new year, the year of the dragon, and it's going to be a yang dragon, yang being the masculine energy, the um the positive masculine energy. And so this year is going to be a yang dragon. And that is very, very auspicious and very, very special to be the year of the dragon, because dragon energy brings good luck and prosperity. Dragon is very powerful. It's a powerful um, spirit being that moves things out of its way. Like when the dragons come in, everything scatters and moves away. It is for a forceful energy. It is um it's powerful, but it's also very auspicious, very fortunate, lucky, all of those things that dragon represents. Dragon clears the way. Um, so that's a wonderful thing. When I heard, especially when I heard that this year is going to be the year of the dragon, I was like, well, we need some prosperity, because after last year, I don't know about y'all, but we need that dragon energy to move some things around and clear the way. I know I do. So I'm looking forward to this year being a year of the dragon, because yeah. So this is going to be a special um event as well, knowing what dragon represents. And if you've ever been to the parade, we have them here in the DMV in DC, actually, the Chinese New Year parade. Anywhere where they have a Chinatown or a Chinese community, you'll see the New Year parade, which is a very important parade. And you'll often see them do the dragon dance. You see the performers perform that, and it's really exciting and thrilling to see, especially if you can go somewhere and see it at night when it's lit up. It's just amazingly beautiful to see, and the excitement that the performers bring to the crowd when everybody sees them do the dragon dance, or even the lion dance too. But the dragon, is something special about the dragon, and just to see that, it brings a lot of excitement and joy to people. And so that's what we want this year to bring and usher in, that energy of the dragon. Study the dragon, study the Chinese zodiac to better understand what it represents in their new year. And then so that's another new year. The equinox is a new year for many people. Some people, the summer solstice is a time of the new year for them. There are some calendars and some cultures that mark their new year with the summer solstice, because the summer is the culmination of the seeds planted in spring, and the fullness and the abundance of what started in spring. So they see that the summertime is the time of fullness and abundance and radiance, and the sun is shining bright. It's the longest day of the year and the shortest night. So in some cultures, that's seen as really important, auspicious, and that is their new year. Um, some others have cultures have their new year beginning in the fall. I know the Ethiopian community, their new year, which is also a 13-month year, begins on September 11th. And a few other people I know, one of my friends is native, and in her culture, the new year is in the fall as well. And they all have their reasons for why they pick certain times of the year for their new year and for their new beginning. And it's based on something in nature, whether this cycles of the equinoxes or the solstices, or some special cosmic event. Whatever it is, there's a reason why they have chosen certain times for their new year. And it's important, regardless of what culture it is, because there is some significance in it why they chose that time. And it's all based on cosmic events and cosmic timelines. Um, it helps to follow and observe those sacred events and those sacred new years, because it helps you stay in tune with the earth's time and frequencies, and the cosmos timing frequencies, because whatever happens in, as above so below, and whatever is happening out in the cosmos with the sun, the moons, and the stars is always having an effect on us here on this planet. The moon cycles, and it's how it affects the water on our planet. All of that has an effect on us, the solar cycles, everything affects us in some way, and we affect it as well, the energies from our bodies. And so all of those things are help us to stay balanced. And so it's good to observe these things, the solar cycles, the lunar cycles, the earth cycles. We should be in harmony with them, and we should be paying attention to the messages that are coming forth from the earth and the time and frequencies. And we want to stay grounded and balanced and stay in harmony with them. Another reason why we want to stay on these time and frequencies and these natural calendars is because there's a saying, he who rules your time rules your mind. And so the other calendars, such as the Gregorian one, is based on a totally different cycle of time, based on something that is not necessarily in harmony with the time and frequencies of the earth. And so you want to make sure that you are in harmony with the earth and its cycles. And to do that, you got to observe those cosmic times, whether it's whichever calendar system that you choose to use. And that is something that should be taken into consideration and to be thought about, because I know many of us only follow one cycle, and we stay in that debt cycle. The first of the month, the rent is due. If you don't pay by the fifth, this is going to happen. Or if your mortgage is due at this time, you get paid on the fifth, first and the 15th, or the 15th and the 30th. And some people, that's all that they are focused on, when they're off work, when when certain holidays come around. And, that's one way of looking at things, but there's also a way of looking at things that is harmonious with nature and harmonious with all that is around us. And so we want to start looking at life from a different vantage point, and start looking at things from a cosmic standpoint, because we are citizens of the cosmos, and we are so much more than just our physical selves and just people that work and sleep and eat and pay bills. It's so much more to us, and it's so much more to life than that. And so keep that in mind as you go about your day, as you go about your week and your month, and keep that in mind when you are living your life and doing the things that you do, because you're so much more than a physical being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And with that said, you want to be living in harmony with nature and the spirit from a spiritual perspective. And one way to do that is to observe those timelines, and strive to live in harmony with them. You will see a change in your life, a change in your health, when you start living according to those natural frequencies of the planet and the earth, in the universe. So I hope this was helpful. And regardless of what new year you celebrate, I pray that each and every one of you all have a wonderful year. May 2024 bring you peace, love, and abundance, and good health and prosperity. Um, we all know the world could use it. We could use more peace, more good health, more freedom, more justice, equality, and all of that. And I think as we continue to demand a better world and work towards and strive for a better world, it can be had, and I think we can see it in our lifetime. So with that said, I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful new year. I love to hear from you all. Thank you for your encouragement and goodwill and blessings. And I look forward to our regular schedule. I took a brief hiatus to work on some things, but we are back in tune, back, with going live. Or we'll have some lives next week and have some more guests lined up. So, with that said, peace and love, everyone. Have a wonderful evening full of joy, bliss, and happiness.